ring you up, Mr. Kenna.
This is the voicemail of Graeme Kenna from the Legal Department for Adult Services in Bradford Council. Please leave a message and I will get back to you.
After you've finished your message, just hang up, or to hear more options, please press 1.
Yes, hello, Mr. Kenna. It's Mr. Hussain here, once again leaving yourself a daily voice message. Today is Monday, the 6th of November, 2023, and the time is 12:45. I'm once again leaving yourself a message asking you to tell me about my brother's whereabouts, his health and welfare, and what you've done to him. Is he even alive now? Have you killed him off like you've murdered everybody else off? You murdered my father, you murdered my brother, you've recently murdered my mother, and have you murdered my brother Talib off as yet? Is he still alive? What kind of condition he's in? Why can't we not see him? Why have you now, through the commissioning of the West Yorkshire Police, money to take complete care and custody of him without any legal framework being in place? You're not his deputy, health and welfare deputies. You're not his health and welfare lasting power of attorney holders. My brother's not authorized you to act on his behalf. You've not able to establish that my brother lacks mental capacity, despite your best efforts over the intervening years. What is happening here? Why are you keeping us in the dark? For there'll be consequences. I assure you, Mr. Kenna, there are consequences to your malevolence and fraud and deception and corruption. As you can quite clearly see, my mother's been murdered. Why has there been no inquest? Why has there been no answer to the questions that I've put in place? Have I not lodged a complaint regarding yourself? Have I not made a subject access request to find out exactly what happened to my mother? Considering while my mother was alive, she had authorized me to act on her behalf fully, just as my brother Talib has asked me to act on his behalf. This is a crime in the making that you're all participating in, that you can stop from escalating. Return my brother to me, return his money to him, and leave us alone. You don't want to do that because you have clearly a malevolent and fraudulent agenda. Today's a lovely day that I could be taking my brother out. My brother has his own home, he has his own life, he has his own thoughts and wishes, he has his own freedoms and aspirations. He's a free individual. What you want to do is you want to make him your private property so you can take money out of him and financially profit and plunder from him. This is not acceptable. I mean, it's quite clearly indicative to me that when you've come down, you came down with the specific purpose of abducting my brother, hence why you've taken his passport. Why would you take his passport on an unannounced singular visit when you did not know what the conditions my brother was living in? You've arrested him from the garden and then now holding him captive and not providing us with any framework of how you've taken him. We are just asking for what kind of legal framework have you used. You're basically denying us any kind of questions, and the only reason that you're doing that is not because I'm vexatious. It's because you know the fact that you are just going to incriminate yourselves further, and you're working collectively under a joint enterprise, including the West Yorkshire Police, the health authorities, the NHS, the local authority, the courts and tribunal services, particularly buying off the judges. You're all working in collusion and collaboration with each other in order for our detriment. Now, as you're fully aware, I've got bail conditions that I was supposed to answer previously that got moved on, no doubt through the local authorities' instructions. But you need to release my brother back to me. You need to let me see him, because this is simply not acceptable that you can simply take a vulnerable person from his loving family and abduct him and hold him incarcerated for 90 days. It's been 90 days. I do not know what kind of hell you've been putting my brother to. There are financial consequences for you to doing so, for you to have done so. Now, I need you to act with sobriety and look to engage with me and try to give me some clarity that I require in my mother's death. You're still holding my mother's jewelry. You're holding several £1,000s of our money, which you're not giving us a clarity of understanding on. You've now kidnapped my brother. You've taken valuable items from the house. You've taken his passport, and you're just giving us no further information other than, to talk to the wall, talk to the hand. We don't want to talk to you anymore. Write it down. And when I write it down, you don't reply to any of my queries. This is not acceptable, Mr. Kenna. You know it. I know it. I urge you to engage with me so I can fully look to get a resolution to this issue, because the situation now is that my brother's going to die in your care and custody, and I'm going to charge you £1 billion. That's the way what's going to happen. Otherwise, return him back